dancing, it is forbidden. Going to dances, ballrooms, it is forbidden. Why? Because the Puritans forbade it, according to the Word of God. They disapproved of dances and ballrooms because they viewed them and taught that they were morally suspect and potentially sinful. They had moral concerns. They believed that the dancing could lead to lust and sexual immorality and other sinful behavior. That the physical expressions of pleasure in these settings were viewed as distractions from spirituality. That these were worldly pleasures. These attending of ballrooms were considered frivolous and indulgent, diverting people away from prayer and work and pious living. It was associated with vanity and luxury and idleness. But worst of all, ballroom dances lead to fornication and adultery because you have people of the opposite genders laying their hands on each other's waists and looking at each other's chests and getting up close to one another and moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. And oftentimes not married, but worse than that, is where you have married people attending a dance and they start out husband dancing with the wife. And then another man who's married to someone else says, "May I cut in?" And it's considered impolite to not allow him to cut in. And so now he has to dance with your wife. That is adulterous. That is cheating. That is unfaithfulness, marital unfaithfulness of the mind and heart. And it's sick and it's wicked. And so if you're going to go to a ballroom dance, you have to look upon this no differently than if you were to go to a bar and someone wanted to cut in and dance with your girlfriend, your fiance, or your own wife. So I think the wife swapping element is probably the worst, most anti-biblical aspect about ballroom dancing, or because we're not talking about people that are courting one another. We're talking about people who are already married, attending ballrooms and dances, and then they're going to be wife swapping in dances. And this is considered all polity of polite society, and it's sick. It's sick. And you see it all the time in these old movies, and they don't question it, and it's the sickest thing. So I'm against it. I think it's a trap of the devil, and I'm not going to let some guy dance with my wife. I'm not going to dance with another man's wife. What are you talking about? Right? Thou shalt not commit adultery. And if Jesus said, "Whoever looks upon a woman to lust commits adultery," this is no different. This is definitely going against. So the Puritan people forbid it. The pastors preached against it because of that, what I just said. Um, but young people wanted to do it anyway. Well, you see, they weren't married. So I think it's less sinful for young people to go to dances. It's less sinful for, people who haven't gotten married yet to go to dances. But I think it's extremely sinful for married people to go to dances. Absolutely. Because you're already in a marriage covenant at that point. And unless you've made up your mind that you're gonna politely shake your head back and forth, no, I'm sorry, you can't cut in. It's just us dancing. Don't play that game. That's what I say. You're playing with fire there. But well, a lot of the young people, like teenagers and 20 somethings in the Puritan times, they would They would go away and they would hold secret dances out in barns away from society. And I really honestly, I could see how that could lead to fornication, but I think that that's less sinful than actual married people going to dances where you know there's going to be mixing and cutting in and stuff like this.